Hey y'all, it's Dr. Know-It-All. I sure hope I've got the microphone working this time. Last time we had issues. Hopefully people will join me. Let me grab my phone here, which is the easiest way. Hopefully I can attach to my live stream and actually catch it, and I can watch your comments as they come in. It's always so complicated getting all this stuff working right. And anyway, I hope I can hear myself. That would be a good thing. Let's see. I'm waiting to see. Oh gosh. Trying to find my own live stream so I can catch it on my phone. And let's see. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Supposedly I'm live. Supposedly everything's working well. Supposedly I've got a bunch of stuff. And I've got. All right. I do have the SpaceX website open. I don't know why I'm not seeing. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can check. People should be able to see the live stream here, but I'm not noticing. Hold on one second. It's always fun to get this stuff set up. You think it's working and then it's not. I really hope the microphone's working because last time that was a serious problem. So. All right, let me ask. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Let's see if YouTube says that I'm. Yeah, they say. Okay. Supposedly I am actually live streaming. That would be a good thing. Yep. All right. So as far as I can tell, it's working. I just am not seeing. I'm not getting it advertised, which is view channel. Let's see if we got something. Let's see videos. Not seeing the live streams. That's unfortunate. All right, I'm waiting to find out whether people can see this or not. Anyway, things are starting. They are rolling. We have somewhere in the order of 15 to 20 minutes, supposedly. So let's see. Let's go ahead and load this page. Upcoming test. Yeah, okay. We're still waiting on it. I'm not seeing any activity on that front yet, so looking is very weird why I'm not seeing. I see everybody else's live stream, but I don't see my own. All right. That's a little odd considering that I can definitely see the live stream on YouTube that says it's working. So now I've got one playback and no viewers, so clearly things are not working particularly well. Oh, it's unlisted. Well, how am I supposed to make it listed? Definitely want to list this thing. All right, here we go. Goodness gracious. So difficult to find. Language, recording date. Allow editing, allow comments, distribution. Why do I not see? I see playlists. I don't. Unlisted. Here we go. All right, public. All right, let's try that again. Hey, y'all, it's Dr. Know-It-All. Now that I've actually made this public, let me see if I can find this. It's a good thing that I'm checking. There it is. Okay. Ta-da. Alrighty. So I managed to make this public. Sorry, I'm a little backed up. If you are joining us, because you obviously must be just joining us, because I just started this stream. I've had a ridiculously busy day, and I fully expected to miss the Starship launch today, the serial number 10 test flight, but things have worked out and I've actually been able to catch it. So we are supposedly 10 to 15 minutes away from the launch. So I'm going to turn on live chat here so I can see if anyone is chatting with me yet. So I see there's some folks watching. Let's see. Not too many people yet, but well, that's okay. We have a few minutes before the launch happens, so hopefully people will come join us. Let me adjust my camera here. Let me check the audio here just to see if what yeah, okay. Just checking to make sure. And let me turn up. And I've got SpaceX's stream, so hopefully if anybody happens to notice that SpaceX has started their stream, definitely let me know in the chat, because so 3 head okay. So I hope, are people hearing sound? I hope people are hearing sound. Definitely let me know in the chat, or my Discord people that are helping me. Please let me know, because I've had problems. I've restarted the computer. I've attempted to fix the problems. I am using an external microphone, but if I need to, I can always turn that off, and I can cause that to go down. And if it's too much, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. So let's see. Anyway. I'm just waiting to see. I'm hoping people can hear me. I can certainly see that audio is coming out on my stream. And let me go in here and refresh the website just to make sure. Hopefully, hopefully the upcoming test part of it will actually cause it to load the page when it happens. So, alrighty. Still waiting to see. I'm going to also reload SpaceX's website. So, all right. Nope. So far, nothing. So, I think they usually start somewhere at 10 to 15 minutes out. Oh, you can hear me. Adam, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Last time I had so many problems with being audible. If you're hearing me too much, I actually have two microphones on, so I can turn one of them off. The sound is good. The sound is a go. Okay, so thank you all. I appreciate that. I am happy to answer any questions that we have. All right, thanks. Thank you, David. So anyway, yeah, by all means, I think my advantage here is that I'm a relatively small channel, and so you can actually ask me questions in the comments or the chat, and I can actually have time to answer you. I've watched, What About It and Everyday Astronaut and those guys, and there's like literally hundreds of comments going by per minute. So there's no way that these guys are going to be able to answer all your questions, but hopefully I can answer your questions. And one thing you can definitely help me out with, and for the folks on Discord that are helping me with the live stream, if you are watching and you see SpaceX start their stream, definitely let me know about that, because I want to try to catch that. I think last time I only had like 1 minute before they launched, before I caught it. So hopefully you can let me know. I would normally have something like Lab Padre or something like that up online, but they get really upset if I stream their stuff. So I'm just showing you the picture right now, which by the way is not very much different than what I'm seeing. I'm looking on my other computer at I think what is this? Everyday Astronaut has got his stuff up, and it's pretty much exactly the same thing I'm showing you. It's just a nice static picture of the Starship at the moment. They do have a few ground venting clouds, so anyway, there you go. So yeah, if you have any questions, let's see. Let's put this a little context around this today. So this is to be the third of the 10, 12 kilometer hops. Obviously very suborbital. Not even up to space. Space is about 100 kilometers or about 60 miles is the defining line. I think that's the Kármán line, if I'm remembering that correctly. But anyway, so that's up in space, and clearly at 10K, this is only a tenth of the way into space. So it's just going up a little ways. And then if it's going to perform like last time, it's going to hover some, so they'll shut off. It'll start with 3 engines, so it's got 3 Raptor engines at the bottom. Jeff, are they trying to do another attempt tonight? Yes, they are. Adam, when is the test starting? I'm looking, and what I'm seeing is 8 minutes-ish. So clearly, SpaceX does not they don't really announce this, as opposed to like their Falcon 9 launches that have an exact time window when they launch, and they say like it's going to be 7:35 and 27 seconds, and it's going to launch just then. For these experimental flights, they just do as much as they can. And they just make it happen as soon as they can. They already got down to T-0 earlier today, and they started the launch. All the engines fired up as far as I could tell. I do not know what happened. If anybody happens to know, I would love to find out. But it immediately aborted. It didn't get off the pad, so it just made a big giant cloud of orange smoke. And that was it. So they vented a whole bunch of pressure, and then they've repressurized, and that was several hours ago. And so now they have moved on, and they are trying again. So I'm definitely seeing, oh yeah, we're getting rocket venting, so we're definitely getting some stuff happening. There's some activity going on. Again, let me interact with this and see if I can reload the page. I'm hoping that we are going to get. Yep. still just basically nothing going on. So it's still just the rocket, and we're still waiting. Their launch window ends at 6 o'clock Central Time. I do know that. And that is 1 hour and 7 minutes from now. So they do have a good amount of time to do this. Of course, the launch itself should take approximately 6 to 7 minutes. Again, if it's going to function like last time, it goes up with 3 engines, 3 Raptors, and as it rises, because they don't want to get going too fast, because they're not actually trying to get into orbit or go very high right now, they're trying to keep it fairly low, so they'll turn off 1 of the engines and then 2 of the engines, and so only 1 engine is going to be left on, and it will kind of hover there. They will then vent the oxygen and methane out of it to kind of empty it out. It will then do the crazy belly flop where it'll just fall over like that. It just looks nuts. And it falls out of the sky, it skydives down, and as it skydives down, it will then, like right before it gets to the ground, this time they're going to light all 3 engines as far as I know, and they'll immediately flip the thing vertical just before it hits the ground, and then I believe what they'll do is the leeward side engine, which is the backside engine, they'll cut off if all 3 of them light. It will then hopefully just mosey itself on down to the landing pad. So that is the goal. It should take somewhere around 6.5 minutes from the launch time to when it goes. Okay, Dan, sorry. One of the people on my Discord channel says that it was a flight abort due to overthrust in one of the Raptor engines. So I'm very interested in the fact that they are able to recycle this, because that sounds like a fault that would have been, I mean, maybe they know exactly what caused it, but that seems like a fault that would have made the entire launch abort, and they would have had to wait for another day. But clearly they don't feel like they've had to, and they are, refueling the ship as we speak. Okay, so let's see, what else? 14 minutes-ish from Olivier. Yes, thank you. And Thorny. So hopefully that answered your question. What did they say failed? It was a Raptor overpressure, which means that the combustion chamber or one of the turbo pumps or something like that had too much pressure. I'm sure the computer made that decision instantaneously, because clearly it had started to ignite and then stopped. So it was a computer decision, not a human decision. All right, Elon tweeted why. Okay, yeah, Thorny, slightly conservative high thrust limit, increasing thrust limit, and recycling propellant. Okay, so that was from Elon. Thank you. It's been such a busy day for me that I haven't even had a chance to check. But that makes sense. That also explains why they were able to recycle and start immediately again. Because if it was a serious overpressure issue, then I would imagine that they would have had to stop everything, and they would have had to, wait for at least till tomorrow and not another day. But if they just kind of software increased the limit a little bit, then there you go. All right, EMSA, they aborted the original launch attempt, which was about 2 hours ago, but they're recycling and trying again. So that's what's going on. All right. Oh, my audio is echoing. So I'm going to guess then. Let me know. All right. If my audio is echoing, now let me know if you are hearing me. If not, I'll turn off the other one. So, in fact, let me just check the settings on this guy. Just make sure. Properties. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up if it sounds better now, because I turned off one of the mics. So hopefully, yeah. Got 2 mics on. Yeah, I turned on 2 last time because I couldn't make the one work, but now hopefully it is working. And so definitely just give me a quick message and let me know. Okay, the audio is better. So Discord said, okay, thank you. Sorry about that. I was so worried last time because no one could hear me that I turned 2 microphones on, which is too much. So there you go. It's kind of weird because I can't hear. Everything sounds perfectly fine to what I'm doing, but it's difficult to know. All right. Thank you all so much for giving me the feedback. I appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, let's see. It looks like we've pushed it back. So we're now at like approximately 15 minutes is what it looks like. So there's a lot of time for you all to ask me questions. By the way, check it out. You can check that out in the link in the description. There's our merch store, etc. So anyway, if you want to check out the merch while we're waiting for the launch, by all means. Oh, this is actually a really, really good thermos. It keeps the tea very, very hot. So it's still boiling hot. Alrighty. So, yeah, we will run out of time eventually, because I know the FAA only granted SpaceX until 6 p.m. local time, which is just about 1 hour from now. So I'm on the Eastern Standard Time or whatever. So that's 6 o'clock where I am. It is 5 o'clock currently in Texas, and their launch window is only open until 6 o'clock. So they will have to give it up if they don't get it done by then. But it does appear there is, venting, etc. going on. So things are going well. Again, I'm just going to quickly reload this page just to make sure that we don't have a stream starting. Alrighty. And again, if anybody notices, so it's very difficult for me to keep tabs on all the different possible places where SpaceX might be live streaming. So if you happen to see one, definitely send me a message and let me know. I would assume it would either be on SpaceX's website or it will be on YouTube. Either one of those would be great. So, oh, how nice. My wife wrote, hey sweetheart, it's good to see you. So, all right. Oh, wow. Is it Lead Dune? Lead Dune 3187. Greetings, everyone. Greetings to you, too. It's wonderful to see everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And like I said, we look like we're approximately 15 minutes from launch, and who knows, right? It could increase in pace. It could decrease in pace. It's very difficult to know because as this is an experimental trip, experimental rocket launch, they don't really have a set schedule. So like I said, when Falcon 9 launches or Falcon Heavy or a ULA or an Electron rocket or any of those things, they have a very, very specific launch window that they're allowed to launch in. Basically, SpaceX gets all day long. The FAA just grants them all day long, and they're allowed to launch whenever they can get it to work properly. So this is all highly experimental. If it doesn't launch today, no big deal. We'll just come back tomorrow and we'll have a discussion again. But in the meantime, we just don't know exactly. And usually SpaceX gives us somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes of like a live stream. So we have a little bit of preview of the fact that it's going to happen. Also, we will eventually see the rocket itself start to vent excess oxygen or methane, and we'll see some obvious signs that the rocket is about to launch. All right, Matt Senkow, what do you think of computation in space? Starlink sats are essentially routers in space, so would it be possible to launch Dojo into space? Oh, wow. You know what? This is interesting. I swear that the last time we had one of these launches, I had this same question. I think the problem is that, let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at my Discord real quick. Yeah, me too. I'm really hoping this one lands this time. So, okay, 30 minutes or fall asleep. We have some Europeans, and so they have issues because, of course, it's very, very late at night there. So hopefully it will launch shortly. Anyway, computers in space. So it seems like such a good idea to put like a giant server farm in space, but the problem is the vacuum. So one of the biggest problems with computers is heat. And of course, as I'm sure you know, in fact, my poor little laptop, because OBS software, which is what I'm using to stream this, is pretty intense in terms of the processor. So it has to blow a fan over the processor, which you may be hearing right now. And you can't do that in space. There's no air in space. So you can't convectively cool or conductively cool. Well, you can conductively cool something, but ultimately the only cooling you have the capability to do is radiative cooling. And radiative cooling is really, really poor compared to convective and conductive cooling. So I think that would be a problem. Now, the advantage, of course, is you could have all the solar power you ever wanted, right? You launch this stuff up and it just goes around the planet, and it just has the solar panels pointing towards the sun, and it's getting like tons and tons of power. So that's the advantage, but I think that would be outweighed by maintenance issues and heating issues. I just think it would be too expensive and too complicated to put a server farm in space. That's my opinion. I could be totally wrong, and SpaceX could very shortly launch Dojo into space, and I'll be proven completely wrong. But that's my personal opinion about that. MC, FAA sucks. Starship traveling around the globe will be impossible with such an approach. Yes, absolutely. Now, I do believe, so this is MC said that FAA is their regulations are very, very old school. They're only built, like Elon said, to do a couple of launches or a dozen launches a year. So they are attempting to fix this. So supposedly within the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a new methodology that they're going to come up with. And so I really hope that the FAA will kind of get with the modern program. Let me take a quick look here. The next evolution in space is space manufacture and cislunar operations. Yes, so absolutely, I do. Dojo on SpaceX, it's shielded well. So yeah, I mean, there are possibilities for putting computers into space, and certainly we have computers in space because, like you said, Starlink is a computer in space. Oh, Matthias, what is Dojo? Dojo is Tesla's. Oh crap! Oh, we're getting rocket venting. So I think we're getting pretty close. let me re-up this thing and just check real quick. Again, if anybody sees an actual stream starting from SpaceX, let me know. So what is Dojo? Dojo is Tesla's supercomputing cluster that they are building right now in order to train full self-driving. I did an episode on that. If you dig through my videos, I would have been, oh gosh, I think around October, November of last year. So definitely check back there. I do a whole thing on Dojo. But basically, it's one of the fastest. It will be one of the fastest computers in the world when it comes online, and it will allow Tesla, not SpaceX, to train full self-driving really, really quickly. And so it's a good thing. So ultimately, it's just a gigantic computer. But putting that in space would be pretty darn complicated. That's all I gotta say. Thorny, it looks sweet with the red sunset backdrop. Yes, it does. This is actually SpaceX's picture, so I can't take any credit for it, but it is beautiful. Definitely right. Oh, Matt Senkow says, not a server farm, just the computational ASICs. Yeah, I mean, if we do that, and like people are saying, Starlink for sure is, it's just a bunch of computers. It's very, very sophisticated computers flying around the globe at like 25,000 kilometers an hour, so just like zipping around. So by the way, I actually have one on order. I finally was able to order one a couple of weeks ago, and supposedly it says second half of this year. So I live, I think it's the 33rd north latitude, so I'm pretty far south, but clearly they're starting to go further and further south with their Starlink setups. But I definitely did get one, so I'm super happy about that. So I'm on the list, and I'll let people know when I find out. Yes. I'm getting people from Discord giving me the 10-minute warning. So again, if people on Discord that are helping with the live stream, if you can keep an eye out for SpaceX's stream, that would be awesome, because I want to try to catch that as early as I can so we can all watch together. All right, so Adam, let's see. Three-head Tronicum Dojo is Tesla Silicon GPU, NPU, TPU. Yes, that's a lot of acronyms, but you are absolutely correct. Adam Hoffman says, watching Twitter feed and smoke is coming out of ship, so it looks like your feed is not live. No, I'm definitely seeing... Oh, no. All I'm showing you is a still image because I'm waiting for the SpaceX stream to start. So I'm sorry. I apologize if you all think this is a live view. This is definitely not a live view. This is just their sort of waiting page until they start the stream. So absolutely, this is not the live view. So please don't mistake that. I'm going to get the live view as soon as SpaceX comes up with a live stream. I will kick into that live stream, and I will definitely be showing that to you all. Adam Hoffman says, launching in 1 minute. Wow. I hope it's not that soon. Jeez. Yeah, tri-venting has definitely begun. We definitely see what's going on. So, yeah. All right. Just waiting to see what kind of stuff we have. Rocket venting. We're definitely getting places. Things are getting close. The one on Twitter is 2 hours ago. NSF is showing T-minus 9 minutes. Yes, correct. Randy Velt says, start with series prototyping before terraforming Mars. That actually is a good idea. Terraforming Mars is a ridiculously hard task. Number one, because they don't have a magnetic field, so any work that you do is going to be counteracted by the fact that if you create an atmosphere, it's just going to blow off into space anyway. So yeah, Ceres could actually be a really, really good option out. It's an asteroid in the asteroid belt. It's the largest. Gosh, if I'm remembering, it's like 80% of the asteroid belt's entire mass is in Ceres, or something along those lines. But anyway, it's big enough that you could hollow it out and you could build a housing, a community, a pressurized area inside there for your astronauts to do mining and stuff. So this is a SpaceX reaction stream. Yes, correct. Sorry, Twitter feed was from earlier. AWS is getting profit now, and then Cloudflare. Yes, yes, exactly. So a lot of extra comments going on. Yes, Amazon Web Server is a happy place right now. So they are definitely helping with all of these things. Again, I'm going to keep reloading this. It's annoying. I'm assuming that they're going to eventually show me the live stream, but I have not seen it yet. We're supposedly only about 7 minutes off from the launch. So it's been kind of like going up and down, but currently what's going on live is that we're getting venting out of the 3 vents at the bottom of the Starship, which would be these guys down here. There's one here, one over there, and one on the backside that you can't see so well. But anyway, so yeah, we're getting close. And like I said, I'm waiting to see if the live stream pops up. Let me actually reload this on my other computer just to check. And let me reload this on my other computer just to check. Okay, still no live stream as far as I can tell from SpaceX itself. So we're still waiting to find out what's going on. All right, so Paint.Square says, what do you think about creating a test city in the desert to test building a colony on Mars? Paint.Square, absolutely. In fact, they have done that. There is one that is currently going on. It's in Siberia, if I'm remembering. The Russians are working on they have a entire environment that they built that's kind of like, a Mars environment or a deep space environment. So, okay, lead tune 515 time start for SpaceX stream. Okay, so lead tune 3187, is they're saying that it's going to start in 5 minutes and 15 seconds? Is that what you're saying? Just checking. Let me just go back. Starship. Again, I'm still not seeing. I don't know why. It's very annoying that they're not. It's a shame that they don't post like a little tab for you to go to. Let me just click over here. Where did you? SpaceX is live. Where is? I'm not seeing the live stream. Gosh, that's annoying. SpaceX live stream is live. I'm just not seeing. Let's see if I go to their home. Okay. Hold on a sec. Let me go to. Oh goodness. Hold on one sec. Working on it. SpaceX. That's okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry, folks. I have to go and type this all in. Let's see if I can bring this up. Aha. No. That's not helpful. Okay. Sorry. Ooh, man. That is a toughie. Okay. I'm not sure why this is quite so little itty bitty. Let me see if I can bring it up and make it a little bit bigger. I'm not sure why this... Okay. Well, let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. Okay, 331. All right. Thank you all. Oh, such a happy day. All right. Can you all let me know if you can see that? So now we actually have a live view. We have 3 minutes and 21 seconds going on. And let me turn the volume for this guy up a little bit. Hold on a sec. Let me, okay. Control audio. Okay. I'm trying to see. Where am I? Oh, interactive P. Okay, so hopefully you can hear just a little bit of the audio. I'm going to kick it over. All right, hold on one second. Let me get this thing fired up so I can hear it better. Okay. All right, looks good. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to move this down just a little bitty bit. Yeah, okay, there we go. Oh, I'm so excited. 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Woohoo! Go SpaceX. All right, so again, all right, we're getting call-outs. Okay. All right. According to SpaceX's own announcer, they have closed out their fills. So fill is done, which means they've pressurized to what they're going to do. They're not going to fill these things up completely because they don't need to do that just to fly to 10K. But they filled them up to whatever they need to. And yes, 2 minutes from now. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I actually didn't think this was going to happen today. It should be absolutely gorgeous if it launches, because look at it. It's against the sunset. We've got some clouds. Hopefully it will not get hidden in the clouds. That would be really, really depressing. The prototype very nearly launched on Wednesday afternoon from South Texas, but a last second out of bounds. Yes. Matt Senkow, that is from a couple of hours ago. That is correct, that they did actually abort a couple of hours ago. This is actually live right now, so we're actually watching at sunset. So yes, a slightly conservative high thrust limit. So apparently what they did was they just overrode those settings. So it's going to be a little terrifying to see if it, hopefully it won't blow up on the pad because they overrode those settings. It would be, that would be unfortunate. So wow, 150,000 people are watching SpaceX's live stream. That's pretty amazing. This is very popular. This is really impressive. And 100 of you are watching, 93 of you. So thank you all so much. Paint.Square, successful landing today. Tesla stock fell heavily. Paint.Square, I just have determined I'm not going to look at Tesla stock until it goes back up again. I'm just going to hold it. I'm not going to worry about it. We are at 1 minute. We're going to talk about SpaceX. We're not even going to worry about Tesla right now. So you can see that it's venting. It's tri-venting is what they call it. It's venting out of 3 places. That's just excess overpressure as the methane and oxygen kind of boils off because it's very, very hot. So anyway, last time we got down to T-0 like 2 hours ago, so fingers crossed that this is actually going to go this time. I'm super, super excited. Whew, 40 seconds. Oh, we've got tenths of seconds now, so we're having some fun. All right, I'm going to take a quick drink so I don't like spit it out or anything. All right, we're down to 30. We're getting call-outs. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. I can't stand it. We'll talk more about this later. If people have questions that come up during the flight, definitely, put them in the chat, and I'm going to be watching the flight while it's going because I'm just so excited. 10 seconds. Woohoo! Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Here we go. Oh, 2. Come on. There it is. Light. Yes. Come on. Start moving. Start moving. Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. Woohoo. Oh, liftoff, baby. Oh, it's moving so slow. Ooh. Okay, I got to turn this down a little bit or else I'm going to be screaming. Oh, yeah. Yes. So it's cleared the launching pad. That is excellent news because that means it won't blow up the launching pad, which would close, it would be a mess. So I know, amazing, right? I need to click the time bar. Is somebody not seeing the right thing? Oh, I'm so excited. 43 seconds. So again, if this is following the last, like SN8 and SN9, what'll happen is it'll go up and then one of the engines will shut down. I think somewhere around 1 minute from now or 30 seconds from now. So you should see one of the engines. We haven't got the internal view, which I always love from SpaceX because you can see all 3 engines gimbling around. But hopefully what we'll do is we'll see one of those will stop. And so then we'll be running on 2 engines. And then the second one will stop. And that'll be just enough thrust to hover it at somewhere around 10 kilometers. It will hover there while it vents off excess methane and oxygen. And then it will fall. So they'll turn off the last one and it'll collapse and start to fall again. I'm predicting and restreaming. 1 minute still alive. Yes, there we go. It's going up so slow. So remember, this is not going into orbit. Oh, let me move my camera out of the way. There we go. Because, it's way cooler to watch that than to watch me. So, yeah. So you can see the 3 engines, and one of them should cut off reasonably soon. So let's see. Because it's going up really, really slow. So it's not there. One of them just cut off. So you can see, I believe. Oh, okay. According to this, they haven't transitioned yet, but it looks like they're down to 2 engines. It's a little hard to tell. But anyway, so there we go. Yeah, definitely. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, there was the flame out. So that's down to 2 engines now. So they're only running on 2. So basically, right, they're not trying to get to orbit here. They're not trying to go fast. They're just trying to go up, very, very controlled, get to the right altitude, go down to 1 engine, cut off the other engine, hover for a while they dump excess fuel propellant, and then they're going to shut the last engine off and they fall, and that's when the excitement happens, because the last 2 times it has been a very hard landing. So the difference this time with serial number 10, so what they did with serial number 9 is they added helium pressurized header tanks, which I can explain more later. And that didn't work with serial number 9 because one of the 2 engines didn't light. So this time they're going to light all 3 engines. And so it's 8 kilometers in height, and they're about to shut down the second engine. So here, let's watch that. But anyway, okay, one of them shut off. Good. 1 engine. All right. So now they're about 8 or 9 kilometers in altitude, and they've just shut off their second engine, and good, it stopped burning. You saw there was a little flame in there. I was worried about that. But anyway, so it should hover for a while. But so the problem last time was that they changed to a helium pressurized header tank as opposed to autogenous header tank pressurization. But one of the 2 engines didn't light, and so it just came in and just, slammed into the ground, as I'm sure many of you have seen. So this time they're going to light all 3, and if all 3 light properly, they'll shut off the leeward side. So that'll be the one, as it belly flops, it'll be the one that's up on top, because that's got the least amount of lever arm. So if one of them happens not to light, they'll keep the other 2 burning. So this is just amazing that it just hovers up there for so long. Stable-ish nose up, not falling. Yes, we have good stuff. Let's see. My feed is 20 seconds behind. Adam Hoffman, yes, I can't help that. That's just YouTube's delay. Everything's delayed. So, okay. Scroll right with the time bar. You're behind. Oh, I think that this is... What in the world? Did they just shut off the last engine? That is a weird angle. I'm not sure what angle they just... Oh, okay, so they just shut it off. I guess I just missed it. So it's falling now. Gosh, I didn't know it took 2 whole minutes to fall. So we're getting... wow, that is just an impressive view. Wow. Here we go. So now it's falling horizontally, and it controls itself like a skydiver would with the front and aft flaps. So it will position itself over the landing pad, and then at the very last second, it'll go whoop. So it uses its thrusters, it uses the engines and also the cold gas thrusters to flip itself at the last possible second. Then it lights the engine. Well, it lights the engines, then it flips, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, this time it's going to touch down softly. And if it does that, that is going to be freaking miraculous. It's like, this is so hard. Launching a spaceship is like an order of magnitude easier than what they're trying to do here. So let's watch. It should happen relatively quickly. In the past, it's been somewhere around 6:15 to 6.5. I believe 6:15, 6 minutes and 15 seconds. So I'm hoping that when we hit 6 minutes and 15 seconds, it's gonna just hover down and just land. Okay, so the nose is going up. We should have somewhere around 35 seconds left. All right. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's watch. Come on, baby. Let's move me out of the way here. Come on, baby. Oh, that's a beautiful view. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, baby. Come on. We got all 3 lit. Yes. Come on, baby. And 1 turned out. Oh, no. No, they lost 2, I think. Oh, gosh, it's coming down so much better this time. Yes. Come on! Come on! Come on! You can do it! You can... Oh my God. Oh, holy crap, it did it! Yes! Yes! That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. This is like watching science fiction, people. That's all I have to tell you. When I was a kid, I grew up, reading 1950s science fiction work, and wow, I gotta just take a second. That is unbelievable. Now, it may not be perfect. It looks like it's on fire a little bit there. And it also looks like it's kind of leaning over a little bit. But that's, okay, hold on. Let's just see. I'm waiting to see if it explodes or anything. It definitely did not have the most gentle landing in the world, but then again, I don't know that it even has landing legs. I don't know if they deployed those at the last second or not, but I think the fire, I can't tell if the fire is going out or not. It's on fire. I know, right? Oh my goodness. So Sorry, I'm just having a good day. Okay, you can definitely tell that it looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa there, because it is definitely not straight up and down. But again, this is all baby steps here. Just the fact that it didn't have a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. Oh, they're actually starting to, it looks like they're watering it. They're trying to like put out the fires. Tesla, Thorny says Tesla shares will go up in the morning. I sure hope so. That would be nice. Whoa, wow. Matt says don't fall over. Yeah. It looks, I mean, from this angle, they have another angle now, and it looks much better than it did. I'm trying to see, I mean, it's a little hard to tell. It looks like one of the fins might have collapsed, but it's the one that's furthest away from where the camera is. So it's a little difficult to tell. I am the biggest little kid. Oh, my wife is watching. Thank you, Lane. It's good to see you. Paint.square. Hey, I'm just passing this stuff on. This is SpaceX that's giving us hope for humanity. Notice that the it looks like the oxygen, or is that the methane tank? I can never remember which one's on the bottom. But whichever tank that is still very cold because it's still got frost around it. But that's awesome. Oh, and so SpaceX's stream is done. Well, okay, let's chat about that. Oh, wow. Man. I'm sorry. I'm having some issues dealing with that, because I was, there was a piece of me that was like, yes, of course they're going to get this solved. But there was also a piece of me saying that there's just like, what? Oh, gosh, no, wait. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in trouble for the old, well, actually, let's see. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and turn that off because I don't want to get in trouble with people get mad if you take their stream. So I'm going to go back to this blank screen. So yes, absolutely, this is symbolic of what will happen with full self-driving. This is symbolic of what's going to happen with the future of humanity. I mean, we're talking about this landing raises the possibility of a fully reusable Starship. Now, they still have to deal with a lot of things like re-entry heat and stuff, but this landing maneuver means that they not only can land on Earth, but they can land on the Moon and they can land on Mars. And they can do it very fuel efficiently. The Falcon 9 rocket ship is incredibly inefficient. It lands itself, but it comes straight down like this through the atmosphere, and so it has very, very little friction with the atmosphere. And what that means is that it has to burn a lot of fuel to slow itself down. Starship is taking a completely different tack. It's basically taking as much air as possible, and it's using all of that air resistance to slow itself down. So that's essentially what's happening here. And that's why it's such a big deal, because it's using so little fuel. It can work on the Moon, it can work on Mars, and it can work on Earth. And so those three environments are the three places that we can be going. And if it can survive re-entry like they think it will, from orbital speeds, then it can also go to orbit, and it can it can be fully reusable, which is going to lower the cost of rocket ships immensely. I mean, again, I think the classic thing is to say, if every time you got on a commercial jetliner, they scrapped the jetliner after you flew in it. So, right, you fly from New York to Paris or something, and then they take the airliner out back and they shoot it in the head or something, right? Whatever. The equivalent is for an airplane. It would be really expensive to fly to France from New York. So the deal here is if they can get this to actually be completely reusable and do it quickly and efficiently, it's going to lower the cost by an order of magnitude at least versus what it costs right now to go to orbit. So just incredible. So Paint.Square says Elon said the chances for success were 1 out of 3. So there you go. I did notice that all 3 engines lit briefly. It looked like, I swear it looked like 2 of them went out, but it must have just been 1. So they did get all 3 engines lit. I assume they're still using helium pressurization for the header tanks. They will have to deal with that later on, but really, I mean, this is incredible. It's incredible that this is all happening. Adam Hoffman said, yes, I agree, it was amazing. Matt said, this took 10 attempts to land it correct, or did we skip some serial numbers? So Matt, oh gosh. First there was like Mark 1 and Mark 2, and then there was serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a lot of those, some of those were just static fires, and there was tank pressurization tests. They blew up tanks. There was all sorts of things that they've done in the previous thing. They've really only attempted to fly 3 times. So that was serial number 8, 9, and 10. So this is number 3. of the actual ones that have flown in terms of landing. So yeah, it's been 10 serial numbers, but only 3 of them have actually gotten up into the air. So hopefully that answers your question. Scott Tisdale says, huge achievement. Can't wait to read about what all the naysayers have to say about this now. Yeah, right? I'm interested to find out, too, what people have to say about what they have to say about SpaceX. Everyone said that SpaceX couldn't land their Falcons, and clearly they do that all the time now, except for the last one, which apparently was a bit of an issue. But, you know, in general, they're landing these things, and they're flying them 6 or 7 or 8 times. Pretty amazing stuff. This will be a whole new category of that, however. 3 launches equals 100% paint.square. Yes, there you go. Lead Dune 3187, serial number 5 and 6 landed properly, but only hop 50 meters. That's correct. Thank you, Lead Dune. Yeah, so these guys are hopping much higher. They just went up a little bit and came down. And then, of course, there was Starhopper, and Starhopper still exists out there. It's they've mounted a whole bunch of cameras on it, and it takes all the cool takeoff launch pictures of the Starship. By the by, if anybody wants to help me out, there are super chats available online, and if you look in the description, or down below. But my plan is this May or this June, I'm going to make a pilgrimage to Giga Texas in Austin for the Tesla stuff, and I'm definitely making a pilgrimage to Boca Chica because I really, really want to watch one of the Starships launch. So you all can help me out with that if you want to. Otherwise, I guess I'll just have to pay for it myself, but such is life. Anyway, I'm super excited about that. It's just a couple of months away now, and I'm like getting super pumped. I'm going to take my Tesla Model Y all the way out there. I'm going to do charging. I'm going to do like daily blogs about what happens. I think my son's going to go with me. So at the very least, you should subscribe so that you can catch that when I do it, because I think it's going to be super fun. But anyway, just if you think I'm reacting big to this on like a screen on my computer, just wait till I watch this thing happen in real life. I'm going to be completely freaking out. So I'm super excited about that. All right, sci-fi author. Yes, single engine landing test. So sci-fi author, was it down to only 1 engine when it actually landed? That's impressive in that case. I didn't think it could actually, I guess they can just sort of throttle that up and down. Once they make the actual flip maneuver, they could probably throttle that 1 engine up to pretty close to maximum and really control it. So I guess it would make sense that they would drop down to 1 engine for the actual landing itself. Rod, hello, Dr. No. Hello to you too. Paint.square, why was the start so slow? So Paint.square, I believe that we have to wait and see what happens when they actually do an orbital type launch. But right now they are not trying to get there fast. They're just trying to go real slow. So I think they're ramping up the combustion pressure. They're throttling it up, and they're slowly going up the pad. You notice it was very, very stately, I guess, or very sluggish, just gently going into space. When this thing launches and tries to get into orbit, it's going to be a whole different thing. It's going to be screaming up there. It'll be totally different. So, Matt Sankow, thanks for asking my questions. Absolutely, that's what I'm here for. And Paint.square, yes, okay. Paint.square, is this heavier than Falcon? Yes, it is heavier than Falcon. Oh, gosh, I don't remember the weights right now. Oh, thank you so much for 3 head. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. 549 euros. That'll get me well on my way to Texas. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. She just blew? Did it just blow up on the pad? Oh no. Let me go take a look. Sorry. Again, let's rewind this sucker. Sorry, I'm trying to catch it live here. All right. Sorry, I really wish that I could give you a stream. I just have never gotten permission from anyone to do a live stream. I'm trying to work on that right now, but that is delayed boom. So we did have a rapid unscheduled disassembly. It just didn't happen immediately. You could sort of tell because the poor thing was leaning over sideways, and I'm sort of rewound a couple of minutes. Let's see. So sorry, I'm just I'm curious. I want to watch this, so let me. Oh, you can actually see Starhopper in view of this thing too. So, oh, the poor ship. I'm sure they would really have appreciated getting some data on that, from looking at the engines and everything to see how they performed. But it did clearly, even though it landed softly, it definitely did not land as softly as it could have. Delayed boom. Oh, I'm so sad for serial number 10. I was really hoping that thing would make it and survive. So, all right, let's see. How far behind am I? Oh, here we go. Okay. I think it's going to happen any second. Just sort of sorry. I'm watching another live stream going on. See, SpaceX should have kept their live stream going for longer because we could have actually witnessed that while we were talking and having a chat. So, all right, let's see if we get. I'm just waiting to see it myself. I'm delayed watching this other stuff. It was leaning. They may have aborted it. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting idea. Brett Snyder says they may have aborted the craft themselves. So they may have determined that it was out of spec. I mean, that's complete speculation, right? So anyway, it would be complete speculation to imagine that, but they may have felt like it was out of spec and determined that it would be safer to explode it rather than let people get close by. Brett Snyder says, I think the legs failed. Yeah, again, I'm trying to watch. I shouldn't be that far behind. I don't know why I'm not seeing this yet. It's got to happen real soon because I'm kind of scrolling through and looking at it. It looks like it happens really, really fast. So it definitely is leaning before it explodes, and so there was definitely issues. The poor Starship. I feel so bad for it. I kind of actually liked it. It sat out there in that launch pad for so long before it finally got a chance to take off and go everywhere. Remember, this thing survived through that crazy Texas winter storm that knocked out the power everywhere, and SpaceX employees were saving turtles, and so the serial number 10 has been out there for a really long time. It's been just hanging out and waiting. Sorry, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on this because I want to watch when it actually explodes. So, can you show the boom here? Paint.square. I will see what I can do if I can find a way of doing that. So, let's see if I get... Sorry, I'm waiting to try to figure out when it happens. So, let me wait until it cycles through this thing. I clearly rewound too far. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Up. There we go. Okay. All right. I think I've caught it. Almost. Hold on, folks. Just watching. This is the problem when you have people who've been live streaming for like 5 hours. Their timeline, the increments are so big for every increment you do that it's ridiculous. Oh goodness, no, that was not on purpose. Wow. Oh, poor thing. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can bring it up. Oh, dang man, that sucks. Hopefully I won't get in too much trouble. The reason why I don't believe that was on purpose was because it exploded from the bottom, not from... It didn't sort of explode all around. Because again, I'm sure they do have range safety explosives in there. So in case it gets up high and gets out of control, they can explode it and get it out of the way. First time to recover. Yep. Thank you to my people on Discord. I really appreciate the live stream help. Thank you so much. And yeah, poor... I feel really bad because I'm sure that they really wanted to look at one of the Raptor engines, but also clearly when it landed something was wonky. And also I'm assuming because of... Did you notice that the bottom part, which I can't remember if it's methane or oxygen again. But anyway, whatever that was still frosty, which means it wasn't venting. And if I looked, I don't believe it actually vented at the top of the flight particularly well either. So there's a possibility that a valve got stuck and that it just overpressurized. And that's exactly what it looked like, because it looked like the bottom popped off and it just shot up in the air. So again, let me just take a look here if I can... Let's see if I can interact with this. And okay. And now the problem is I have no idea if I'm going to be able to pull this back. No, okay, sorry. I'm trying to do this. This is like really sketchy. All right. Hopefully, Tim Dodd, I love you. You're the best. Please don't get me in trouble for just playing. I'm just going to play this teeny little clip back. But anyway, so it should happen fairly quick. Oh, no. That's a while. Okay. Sorry. Let me go back and interact with this again. It's really hard because it's like super duper small. So hold on a sec. It's OBS software is really lovely, but it's super duper hard to get stuff like this to work properly. Let's see. Nope. All right. Let's see where we are. 17 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, whoops. Went too far back. Sorry. Oh my goodness. This is a pain in the butt. Nope. Nope. Somewhere right in between those two. All right. Goodness. I'm going to turn this off temporarily because I know it's not until about 14 or 15 minutes. So anyway, we can keep talking. Okay. So 3-head, it's meant to read electro head, as in Model E, the name Elon wanted before mirroring the number. There we go. Thank you. E-head, electro head. I like that. Thank you. That's pretty cool. All right, let me get an exact timing here by looking on my other computer. Again, it's just because I don't want to get in trouble with streaming and have them pissed off at me about the stream. So let me figure out approximately when it happens. Oops, no. All right, it looks like it's somewhere right around 14 minutes, but I'm checking. So I will keep kind of flipping this back and forth. So, all right, yeah, 12:25. Okay, 14:13. So again, I'm looking, once I get an exact time from looking at it over on this other monitor that you guys can't see, it launched itself again. Sci-fi author, absolutely. It really looked like it was not satisfied. It was like, yeah, I'll see your 10-kilometer hop and I'll add another 20 or 30 meters to it. So there you go. Okay, so 14 minutes and 30 seconds. All right, so now that I know what time it is, and dang, that's impressive. Now just hold on with me, folks. We'll get there. All right, so I'll turn it back on in another minute. Like I said, I just don't want to get in trouble with the live stream thing, so I'm just going to show a little teeny weeny piece. But it's a Hollywood level explosion, so you got to give SpaceX credit. I mean, it's the kind of thing you're used to seeing in a science fiction movie, not like reality. So that's pretty cool. All right, I'll give it another 30 seconds and then I'll turn it back on again here. So, but man, I can't wait to show it to you because this is really, really cool. And again, I don't think that this was detonated on purpose because it probably would have blown up everywhere at once if the range officer had detonated it. So I think that we're looking at whatever that tank was on the bottom. And again, if we look at it, see how it's still very frosty. So the frosty part of it is, this part has clearly gotten rid of the propellant in that tank, but this part hasn't. So, okay, so now we're at like 40 seconds away. All right. So we'll just keep watching. So you have to just give it a moment. It'll get there. It's right around 14:30. So it's about 20 seconds from now, and they will cut back to a close-up view. They don't know it's going to explode. So anyway, this is Everyday Astronaut. Much credit to him for setting up all this stuff. So, okay, so watch this. This is the view. So about 5 or 6 seconds from now. So watch the bottom. It explodes from the bottom up, and it just goes kaboom. So I'm guessing overpressure. Oh, wow. There was actually a little bit of something that came out first, but wow, right? That's Hollywood level explosion material right there. Boom. Oh, yeah, baby. So I would say it launched itself another 20 or 30 meters into the air. So hopefully that satisfies. So not only did you get to watch a launch and watch it land properly, but you still got to watch an explosion. So come on, that's awesome. And a very Hollywood level explosion too. So it looked like most of the propellant. So I really wish I could remember. Explosion came from the bottom. Was not its flight termination system. Yes. Could on Discord, could you guys check, is the methane tank on the bottom or the top? I believe the methane tank is the bottom of the rocket. So I think it's methane and then oxygen and then the header tanks are switched. But if that's correct, then the methane tank was what blew up. And my guess, I'll guess this right now, and we'll see if I'm right when Elon tweets about it or something. But my guess is that the vent or something got crushed. So remember how it was venting before the launch out of all 3 areas? I'm wondering if somehow with the landing it got crunched a little bit, and that one of the vents didn't work properly, or all of the vents didn't work properly, and so it wasn't able to vent the propellant, and there was that little fire that was burning. So eventually the propellant would have gotten enough that you saw like there was like a kind of like right before the explosion, it kind of hissed out some steam, or well, some propellant, and then it caught fire. So I'm guessing it popped, right? It was like too full. It was like a Coke can that just gets too hot and goes boop, and the bottom pops off. So let's see. Paint dot square. See, I told you it was worth the wait. It's very Hollywood, right? That's an impressive explosion. In fact, in some ways, I think it's better than the other ones because I think it was fuel rich, so it has a lot of oranges and reds and stuff in it, so it's pretty kick-ass. So methane is on the bottom in this 2019 German diagram I'm looking at. Thank you, Matt. Yes, so that's what I thought. So the methane on the bottom, so basically if the methane tank was unable to vent, so it still had a lot of methane in it after it landed, and it couldn't, shoot off the venting, or potentially they were too scared to vent it because remember, right after it landed, there was a little flame coming out of it. So they may have thought, crap, if we vent the methane at this point, it's going to catch that thing and it's going to explode. So they probably waited and waited and waited, but in the meantime, that methane is boiling and boiling and getting hotter and hotter, and it has nowhere to go, and eventually it looks like it blew off the thrust puck. It popped a tiny little leak in the bottom, or who knows. So again, think about it like a balloon or like a Coke can, and basically as it got overpressured, there was a weak spot, a weld gave or something, and you could see the methane kind of squirt out first, and then immediately it caught fire, and as soon as it caught fire, it launched itself. It was trying to get back to orbit. It didn't make it back to orbit, but it tried. So there you go. So anyway, yeah, this is all, it's a darn shame that happened, but they basically accomplished every goal that they had except for the one goal, which was to bring the poor thing back in one piece and be able to look at the Raptor engines. Let me take a look again real quick if I can. Maybe rewind this if I can try to get it. Oh gosh, it's so small down there. Nope. All right. Yeah, I'll just talk to you guys for a while again, and then we'll take a look. But that was super impressive. Okay, so let's see. We need about 4 minutes here. So, Paint Dot Square, thank you so much. Off to sleep, thank you. Hey, join me next time. I'll be here for serial number 11 or 15 or whatever the next one that's going up for. So definitely, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Bless you. Have a good night. All righty. So yeah, so we'll talk for a few more minutes. We'll watch that explosion one more time because, geez, that was awesome. And then we can maybe sign off unless you guys have questions to ask or anything like that. But if you have any other questions, definitely let me know. So in general, super successful test. Everything went well, except it looked like it landed a little bit harder, or the feet didn't work properly. I mean, they have just these teeny weeny little feet that flip out at the end, assuming that that's correct. It's hard to tell because they don't show the interior of the rocket. Hopefully when SpaceX does their supercut of this in a couple of days and they put it online, we'll be able to see if the little feet came out and did that. And it's possible the feet weren't there or it didn't come out properly, and so it got crushed and it landed kind of sideways when it landed. So anyway, we will see how that all goes. But I've got some people on Discord writing right now, so they're asking about that. But let's take a quick look. Okay, about 3 more minutes before we get to the awesomeness. Methane is on the bottom, O2 is on the top. Thank you. So I guess that because knowing something, there's more oxygen than methane on this, right? So you need more oxygen to burn than you need methane. So the methane tank is smaller than the oxygen tank, and when you look at this part, if we take a quick peek, you can see that this part that's still frosty is only about 1/3, whereas the rest of the fuel tank is about that big, and that's about 2/3. So that was why I reasoned that the methane tank had to be in the bottom. So there you go. But anyway, so it makes perfect sense because methane, of course, is a very combustible fuel, and the atmosphere of Earth, of course, has lots and lots of oxygen. So as soon as you dump some methane out the bottom and you add a spark, it's going to ignite, and that's going to be it. All right, about 2 more minutes, and we will watch the explosion again. Mark Browning said, had a hard landing. You could see it bounce. I guess I'd say that ruptured a fuel tank. Yes. Mark, I would say ruptured a fuel tank, or again, potentially it weakened part of the fuel tank, but I really think a big part of it was they were not able to vent, because that tank should not have been frosty anymore, right? It should have, as soon as it landed, it should have vented out all the rest of the methane. And in fact, honestly, I believe that all should have been vented when it was up at 10 kilometers. So none of that stuff should have been in there anymore. So it's possible the venting problem actually happened when it was at 10 kilometers. And so since it was unable to vent that, it was all frosty. But the ship should not be frosty when it lands. So, okay, we're looking at about 1 more minute here. All right. Hey, Duo. Christopher from Sweden, it's nice to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for staying up so late with me. My goodness, it's almost 7 o'clock my time, which is like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock your time. Goodness gracious, maybe 3 o'clock. So go to bed. I'll let you all go in just a minute. Let's watch this explosion one more time. Oh, sorry, we still have another like 30 or 40 seconds. So let's have some fun and watch this again. So right around 14, what did I say? 14:30, 14:35. So somewhere around there. So it's just about 30 or 40 seconds away. You can't go wrong with watching explosions over and over again, right? So, again, while we're waiting for the explosion, don't forget, merch store, cool stuff. Merch store, my Tesla bot shirt, designed it myself. One of our Patreon members is actually in charge of the shirt store, so you not only help me, but you help him out too. Okay, let's watch. Somewhere around 10 seconds from now, we're going to get, so watch the bottom first, right where the venting is. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but right down at the bottom where the fins are, watch that, because it poofs out. Yeah, so it poofed out and then it went. So there's like a little moment of that first. Oh my gosh, that's impressive. And see how there's no explosion when it lands? So the bottom part, so again, bottom part methane, top part oxygen. Top part was clearly empty, because when it landed, it would have exploded again, because the oxygen would have mixed with the methane and created another sort of secondary explosion that would have happened. But that didn't happen. So clearly the oxygen tank was basically empty. The methane tank was quite full still. So that clearly caused the issues that we had, and such is life. So there you go. All right, does anybody have any last second questions? Otherwise, I need to go make some dinner, because I'm actually rather hungry. It's been a long, long day, but man, what a lot of fun to watch this with you all. I really appreciate you all being here. What can I say? This was just a blast, and I can't wait to do it again. Matt Senkow says, maybe they chose not to vent methane to make sure they had the pressure thrust for the landing. Maybe they shut off the stream. Okay, maybe they shut off the stream because they knew it was going to explode. That is possible. Matt, I don't believe they would have done that, because there are header tanks. So you've got the big fuel tank, right, the methane tank and the oxygen tank, and then inside of that is a little baby tank, this little ball that sits inside of those two tanks, or actually I think just above them, and those have the fuel, the propellant, for just the landing. And the reason why is because when it's doing its belly flop, right, it's sideways, and so the fuel is all going to be laying sideways, and your turbopump inlets are back here, right, so they're going to be sucking air. They're not going to be able to get any fuel. So essentially the header tanks are little miniature pressurized tanks that hold a little extra propellant, and as it starts, those are the things that feed into the engines and cause the actual ignition for the landing. So that's what's going on with that. Oh, Bub Freddy, best commentary. Thank you so much, Bub Freddy. I appreciate that so much. So Matt, I hope that helped explain your answer, that that basically there's a separate tank just for the landing, because they can't fuel it back up again. They can't suck air into the engines. They need to give it methane and oxygen, and when it's sideways, they can't do that with half fuel or mostly empty tanks. So they use these little teeny baby tanks that are called header tanks that just have enough for 30 seconds of burn or something like that, just enough to get it flipped over and down and landing. So that should hopefully explain what you were asking about. So anyway, super cool stuff. Anthony Wilson, what can they do to fix this problem? Well, they need to be able to vent. I think a few things happened. Number one is, I'm going to guess that they were unable to vent when they were at the 10 kilometers. And I don't know why that happened. Maybe the vents broke or something like that. So they need to make sure that the vents are working. they need to make sure they land a little bit softer, right? You could see that it landed pretty hard, and I think somebody said it bounced. I didn't notice that myself, but you could definitely see that it was, like I said, it was a leaning tower of Pisa when it got done. So it was definitely not a perfect landing. So they need to land a little bit softer, and then, just have better ways of venting out the propellant at the end of the whole thing. Matt Senkow, I'll look into it. Thank you. Yes, definitely look into it. It's really cool. If you look at a graphic of how it's built, you'll see that there are the big fuel tanks, and then there's little baby fuel tanks, and those baby fuel tanks are the header tanks, just for the landing. So Anthony, I believe that in order to fix it, they need to work on venting, and they need to work on landing a lot softer, and probably they need better landing legs. I mean, right now, those landing legs are pretty wussy, and so it's possible that it actually landed not that hard, but that the landing legs are so wimpy that they just kind of crushed. But anyway, even though it was leaning, it shouldn't have exploded, but such is life. So, sci-fi author, it definitely bounced. Okay, thank you. I haven't had a chance to go back and watch it again. So, in that case, it definitely landed too hard. It should... Rocket ships are not designed to bounce. They are not super balls. So if a rocket ship bounces, that's a bad sign. Now, sometimes when you see the Falcon come down, you'll see it like landing on the drone ship. It'll kind of settle. It'll like land, and then you'll see the landing legs the struts will push it back up a little bit. So it will actually go up a little bit, but it doesn't go boing like that. If it does that, that's a bad sign. So, but anyway, better landing legs would definitely help too, because of course that would allow a little bit more, of a hard landing. It would just kind of broaden the range of landing capabilities that it would have. Alrighty. So like I said, it's almost 7 o'clock my time. I'm ready to go make some dinner. So unless anybody has any questions, I'm going to sign off. Again, thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. To the people who did the super chats, I super appreciate that. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, definitely make sure you subscribe so you can catch these as they go forward. I'll do that. And of course, I'm constantly posting videos on other things like Tesla all the time too, and SpaceX. So definitely catch it and enjoy it. And until next time, thank you all so much. I'll talk to you later.